here in my YouTube channel, and today we will be discussing about stress and what you can do in order for the stress to impact you less and even be useful for you. And we will be using different strategies from neuroscience, acceptance commitment therapies, cognitive behavioral therapy, and solution focused brief therapy in order to increase your awareness about how these approaches might be useful and benefit you if you want to better cope with stress and even take advantage of it. So, according to neuroscience, the stress response coordinated by hypothalamus pituitary adrenaline axis releases adrenaline and cortisol in response to perceived demands. And this results in heart rate increases, energy mobilization, attention focus, and this response evolved to enhance performance under challenge, not to harm us. So simply, actually, some levels of stress are being useful for us to perform better, to focus on our work, and even to maintain focus for longer period of time. And also, there are benefits of stress physiologically. It increases blood circulation, it increases your heart palpitation, and this actually being helpful for us. And Hansel, who coined the term stress, differentiated between eustress, beneficial performance enhancing stress, and distress, which means chronic harmful stress. And actually, we are experiencing different types of stress during different times of the day. For instance, when we are learning something new, this is a beneficial stress if stress levels are not very high. Or when we are exercising, we're also experiencing stress. And competition, for instance, is also a stressor, and all produce temporary physiological stress. And when recovery follows, the system emerges stronger, and this is being beneficial for us. However, when we start to perceive the stress as harmful or as a threat, this becomes the point where stress starts to have negative impact on us. For instance, let's understand stress in a different way. Based on research conducted by Jim Blaskovich, known as biopsychosocial model of challenge and threat, this research has showed that when you face a stressful situation, like an exam presentation or something challenging that you need to do, your body activates in a similar way. Your heart rate starts to increase, you feel alert, and your body prepares to respond. However, the same stress response can lead to two very different outcomes. If you start to interpret it as a threat or as something harmful, this can have a negative impact on your body. So whenever you are experiencing stress, and if you are able to reframe it as something difficult but you can handle it, or if you assume that you have everything in order to cope with it, or if you think that this task matters for me, that's why I'm experiencing stress, your body starts to generate reactions and responses that are not harming you, they are just being beneficial for your health. But if you see the stress as a harm or a threat, then this can turn into something that is damaging your health. For instance, maybe you have some thoughts that this is too much for me, you are not capable, something will go wrong, and this causes even more stress. And therefore, depending on how you interpret the stress, it can become beneficial for you, or it can become a source of negative evaluation and impact. And over time, anytime when you notice stress, you can learn to gently shift your perspective and reaction. For instance, you can tell to yourself, my body is preparing me to experience something challenging. This is a challenge, it's not a danger. And you can say that you can use this energy in order to improve your health. And depending on reframing, you can take advantage of stress and turn it into something that will help you to improve and support your mental health and physical health. So even though if we cannot change the situation, and stress is always there in our lives, we can learn to create different meaning from it, and depending on it, turn it into something that would be useful for us. According to Yerkes-Dodson's law, there is a classic inverted U relationship. Performance improves as arousal increases and up to an optimal point. This means that when people are stressed at certain level, they can perform better, and everyone's arousal and stress levels are different. And therefore, it's important to find your optimal zone. For instance, try to notice what are some times when you function well, when there is slight anxiety or stress, and you can manage the stress, and this can even make you more alert or more focused, and try to adjust to that level of stress. For instance, you can walk or physically exercise in order to reach that optimal zone. Or if you think that you can perform better when you are very calm, you can use certain activities that would help you to relax, maybe listening to music or praying or doing anything that helps you to calm down. So according to this research, finding your optimal zone of level of stress and using it in order to perform better, to succeed, is another strategy you can use if you want to be successful despite the stress. A mindset about the stress. Stanford researchers Elia Crump's landmark study found that people who watched the video emphasizing stress's positive impacts were able to succeed better and had better health outcomes, whereas the people who were watching negative impact of stress had negative consequences and their health impaired. So this actually reveals that everything can change according to where we place our attention. When we are experiencing any challenge, stress, or anxiety, trying to find positive sides of it, or trying to find solutions, or trying to find what you can control, can considerably decrease the stress levels and impact of stress on you, and even can help you to improve your health. But if you are just stuck, and if you are seeing just negative impacts of it, if you notice yourself worrying, ruminating, and seeing it as a danger, then your nervous system and your biology starts to see it as a threat. So in that sense, noticing your thoughts about the stress or about the challenge is the first point towards the change and towards helping and supporting yourself. And stress reappraisal can applying cognitive reappraisal to stress. For instance, if you think that stress is destroying you and the pressure is and this might negatively impact you because you are finding a negative meaning from stress. But if you are saying that this stress is preparing me and signaling that this matters, it stops being as a threat, and your body stops accepting it as a threat. And this reappraisal is not a denial that stress is not here or we don't have any problems, but it's alternative interpretation of the situation. And research shows that cognitive reappraisal of stress as challenge rather than threat can produce measurably better cardiovascular and cognitive outcomes. So this means that you can focus better, that your health can improve. And chronic and acute stress. Acute stress is intense but brief, and this followed by full recovery, and it's beneficial and strengthening. But chronic stress means moderate but continuous without adequate recovery, and it's harmful. So noticing your stress levels and deliberately planning your routines, your environment is important, because if you are experiencing constant stress and if you are exposing yourself to these stressful situations, it might considerably impact negatively your health. Therefore, noticing how much you can bear, how much is enough for you, and deliberately planning, for instance, vacations or hobbies, using hobbies or anything that helps you to relax, can help you to keep you away from experiencing chronic stress. According to research also, finding meaning, like asking why this task of work is important for you, connecting with that meaning, and supporting relationships, using hobbies, and using anything that helps you to enjoy your work also was found to decrease stress levels and to help you to result. And performance equation. Research by Brad Stalbert and Steve Magnus found that optimal performance is generally equal to stress plus rest. Not maximum stress, not maximum rest, but a balance of both. And if you constantly force yourself to overwork without resting, this is not helpful as well. Therefore, uh, continuing this balance, working after that, resting and creating opportunities, environments for you to rest is important, because in the long run, if you will not maintain this balance, you will feel burned out, exhausted, and this would create even more complications in your life. And what recovery actually requires is that positive psychology research found that PERMA elements, positive emotions, engagement, relationships, meaning, and accomplishment, are becoming a buffer zone against the harmful effects of stress. So this means reaching out and socializing more with people whom you feel good, meaning, adding more meaning into life, whatever is meaningful for you, and accomplishments. This can also even be deliberately included into your life. For instance, if your tasks are too long, you can break them into smaller pieces and help to experience these feelings of accomplishment more often. This would also create positive neurotransmitters and chemicals in your brain and would help you to buffer stress or negative impacts of the stress. So anytime when you experience stress, reappraising it, reframing it, and noticing positive sides of it is one of important strategies you can apply for yourself. And that's what resources I have to meet this demand, and what is my challenge opportunity here. And also asking when you helped yourself, when in the past you were able to succeed and overcome stress, or be impacted less by the stress, or turn it into something meaningful or even beneficial, is one of solution-focused brief therapy strategies. And how you want to respond in the presence of stress. Who do you want to be? Who do you want to become? Everyone is experiencing stress, and how you want to respond to it, and what helped you to be that version in the past, what resources you have in order to help yourself to show up as that person, again, are some strategies you can use using solution-focused brief therapy. And 3 evidence-based cortisol reduction practices are 20 minutes of aerobic exercises, using aerobic exercises, movement, cold water exposure to face or wrists. It activates diving reflex immediately, helping your heart rates to decrease. And physiological signs, double inhaling through nose followed by extended exhale. Some strategies you can apply if you can regulate your cortisol levels. And stress mindset statement. Before any stressful periods, you can write or say, this pressure, this stress is preparing me, my body is mobilizing resources, and challenges matter to me. That's why I might feel excited and stressed, and I have the capacity to meet and to cope with this stress. And this would help you to reframe the stress in a manner that would not help you harm you, but would help you to benefit from it, and to make it something that would make you stronger instead of harming. I hope this session was helpful for you. I tried to share some evidence-based strategies and neuroscience about impacts of stress on body and mental health, and how you can turn it into something beneficial for you. If you have any questions, please you can leave your questions in the comments, and I will be glad to answer your questions in the future sessions. Thank you for coming, thank you for your time, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on your notifications if you want to be informed about future webinars. Take good care of yourself. Bye bye.